everybody, welcome to another yoga video. Today is a continuation of my last gentle beginners yoga flow. We're going to build off of that by introducing some other yoga poses you may not be familiar with. And so I just have 2 yoga blocks and a strap today. You can also have a blanket. So let's start by coming into child's pose onto our yoga mat. And you can have your knees about hip width or shoulder width apart, whatever is comfortable for you. Walk your hands forward, bow your head, and just sit back onto your feet. Allow your body to grow heavy. Start to turn into yourself and tune into your breath. Fill your low belly with air as you inhale. And exhale, pull your belly button into your spine. Start to walk your hands out in front of you so they're straight and your elbows are off the mat. And keep breathing. Sink your tailbone down a little further. And start to make your breath audible, breathing deeply in through the nose. And exhale, exhale, exhale through the nose. Walk your hands over to the right hand off the mat, left hand on the edge to get a side stretch. Then walk through the center over to the other side and get that side stretch. So, reminder for today's practice, you can walk back to the center of your mat. Take a few more breaths in child's pose. Reminder for our practice today that yoga is a breathing practice. It is like breathing and meditation with some physical movement. So if you ever start to feel tired, fatigued, or distracted, gently pull your attention back to your breath. Okay, now come onto your hands and knees in a tabletop. Have your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, and we'll take a few cat-cow. So inhale, pull your belly down. Exhale, pull the belly up, shoulders and hips round down. And we'll just take 2 more like this. Inhale, lift up. Reach that chest up, then exhale, pull the sternum back as you pull the tailbone under you. Last one. Then exhale. Let's take a few twists. So twist to the right, reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale. Set your hand down and twist to the other side. Deep inhale. And exhale, set that hand down one more time on each side. Now we'll stay here and take a few fire hydrants, which is just a few leg abductors that we can take. So raise that left leg into the air, keeping that knee bent, and then lower that knee. Keep hovering off the mat, and then we'll lift and hover. Lift and hover. Keep drawing the belly button into the spine Last one on the left side. Press evenly into your right side, your left hand and your right hand, and then set your left knee down. Lift your right knee off the ground and bring it up to hip height if you can, and hover it down toward the floor. Lift it back up. Keep your neck long here. Try not to hunch your shoulders and let your body collapse. Find a long length in your spine, through your neck and through the crown of your head. 3 more on the right side. I got distracted for a second. 4, 2, 4, 1. Now set that right knee down. And then come up to a kneeling position, hands on the hips. And we'll take a few lunges here. It'll challenge your balance and also get the body warmed up. Set your right foot forward. Start to stand up and stand up, bring your left foot forward. Then right foot comes back, left foot comes back. Now we do the left side first. Left side and right. Left leg comes back, right leg comes back. We'll do 2 more on each side. Right, right, left and right, left and right. 1 more on each side. Right and left, left and right. Draw that belly button in as you keep the neck long and stand up nice and tall. And then let's come back up to standing. I don't know why I ended up kneeling again, but we're gonna start here for our half sun salutation. So Tadasana. Tadasana is mountain pose in yoga. It is very foundational, and it's a great one to use as an analogy for the rest of the poses in yoga. So when we say Tadasana, we don't mean just stand there and allow your limbs to do nothing. We want active engagement in the whole body, and what easier way to do that, to have full engagement of everything, than just by standing nice and tall. So imagine there is a wall behind you. Press your head up against that wall as you open up your chest, draw the shoulders back. Imagine touching your ribs, your hips, and the back of your shoulders against that wall. Now reach your arms down into the ground and imagine there was a sale on watermelon and you got 2 watermelons, so 1 in each hand, so your hands are hanging heavy. Then just breathe here. Feel your kneecaps draw up your leg, pushing down through all corners of your feet. Draw the navel into the spine. See if you can lift all 10 toes off the mat. That's how engaged your legs are. All right, now let's begin. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. And then fold forward. Have a soft bend in your knees. Lengthen as you lift up halfway. Then exhale as you drop your spine down. Grab a hold of opposite elbows and allow your body to sway back and forth. Shake your body. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head now. You can also shake your body if you want. All free. Feel free to take any movement you want here. It's your practice. And then inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale, dive forward again, going straight into the next cycle. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Keep that soft bend. Drape your head down. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Keeping the knees soft, just gently warming up our body. Inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep pressing through all corners of your feet. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, rise up as you salute the sky. Last one. Exhale, dive forward out of your legs. Inhale, find length in your spine from your tailbone to the tip of your head. Exhale, dive forward again. Now here, you could start to wiggle out the knees a little bit. And maybe straighten one leg, keeping one knee bent, and straighten the other. And just alternating, stretching at the back of your legs. Let's take a few twists here. So set your right hand down in front of you. Left hand reaches up toward the sky for a twist. Set the hand down and twist to the right. Set the hand down. Bring your hands underneath the soles of your feet, palms facing up, wrist creases meeting the toes, and allow your toes to just massage your hands. Stepping on your hands, feeling the weight of your body. Bend your elbows a little and start to fold a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen, come out of the pose a little. Then exhale, fold a little deeper. One more time, inhale. And exhale, pull yourself down, leading with the chest. Then remove your hands from underneath your feet. Inhale all the way, rise up to standing. And then exhale, lower the hands. Okay, now turn and face the long edge of your mat. And you want your stance where your ankles are directly underneath your wrists. And then point your left toes toward the front of your mat and sink into warrior two. Inhale, straighten that leg, straighten your arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, sink lower into your pose. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, lift your shoulders up. Then exhale, pull the shoulders down. Inhale, straighten that leg, reach up. Extended side angle. So you're gonna bend that front leg, set your elbow down on your thigh, and reach the other hand up and over. Rotate your hand so the palm is facing down, and twist your chest a little bit more so it's reaching toward the ceiling. It feels like a little bit of a twist in this pose. Okay, then reach back up. Reach your left arm up toward the ceiling, right arm back. And then extended side angle. Reach up and over. Find a long straight line from the back edge of your foot, outside edge of your back foot, and your fingertips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, extended side. Reach up like this. Can't neglect the side stretch, and then extended side angle. All right, inhale, reach up. Point your toes toward the long edge of your mat, and we'll turn and do the other side, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, sink down. Try to breathe throughout the whole movement in between reaching up and coming into warrior two. Slow, even breaths. Inhale, reach up. Press into the outside edge of your back foot as you sink low. Inhale, reach up. Extended side angle. Bend your front knee and reach up and over. Open your shoulders up just a little bit more. Gaze up at the ceiling or the sky. Then inhale, reach up. Reach the other arm over your body as you bring one arm back. Then extended side angle, reach up and over. So remember Tadasana, you want active engagement in the legs and the arms. Draw that belly button in, even if our pose is something different. Last one here, inhale, reach up. Side stretch that body. And then extended side angle. Now, you can turn both toes toward the long edge of the mat, and then we will take Skandasana, which is like a transverse lunge. So, bend your knee, your right knee, and then lunge to the right. Slowly if you need to. Then you can either keep your hands right in front of you, or spread your arms, Maybe tuck your knee behind your right shoulder, reach your left arm up, and just sit here for a breath. Then walk your hands over, lunge to the other side. Let's walk back to the other end and take one more Skandasana on each side. And walk your hands to your left side. Okay, now we'll come back to the center. You can slowly rise up, place your hands on your hips. And we're gonna take wide-legged forward fold. So make sure that stance is nice and wide. Maybe measure out your hands and your wingspan. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. And then I want you to open up your chest, find some extension, the upper thoracic spine. Exhale, release it. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale. One more time. Now inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips, keeping your back flat. And reach forward, find length, then come all the way down for your wide forward fold. Inhale, find length here. One more time. Press through the outside corners of your feet. And then sink down. Walk your hands in line with your feet. Bow the head forward so you know you're at the right distance with your stance when your head can come down to the ground, but just barely. Pull the chest through your legs and just hold for a breath. Now walk your hands forward a little. Have them closer to each other. We'll do another series of twists. So twist to your right, reach your arm up, and then twist to the other side. One more time. Tadasana legs. Keep those feet nice, strong, and active. Feel those shoulders. Draw down the back. And then set both hands down. Place both hands on your hips now. And slowly, slowly, slowly lift your chest up so you don't get vertigo. And then you can step to the front of the mat again. Shake your legs out if that was a lot for you. And then we'll go right into high lunge. So step your left foot back. You can keep your heel up. And then inhale, raise your arms up into a goal post, cactus arms. And then have 90 degree bends in your leg. Now inhale, raise your arms overhead as you straighten both legs. Exhale, sink into your pose. Inhale, reach up and straighten. Exhale, sink down. One more time. See if you can stretch the front of your abs. Find some length. Exhale, sink. Then you can grab your blocks if you have them. We're just going to take a gentle twist to the left, or to the right, I mean. Set your hand down, set your knee down, take a low lunge, reach up and inhale. Find that pull of your legs toward each other, like they're magnets. And then set your hands down. Step your left foot forward, right foot back. High lunge on the other side. Find a 90 bend. You might have to widen your stance a little bit more and cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, fill that belly. Exhale, pull the belly button into your spine. One more time, inhale. Exhale, open up the chest and pull your arms back. And then you can set your right hand down and twist to the left side. Then set your hands down, set your back knee down for low lunge. Reach up. Feel that magnetic pull with your legs. Then set your hands down and step forward. Halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. See if you can get your knees straighter. Inhale all the way up to standing. And then exhale, set the hands down at the sides. Find that Tadasana again. Sink your heels down. Push your arms down like the watermelons are really heavy. Pull the shoulders down the back. Let's take one more round of the lunges. So set your left foot back. Cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Inhale. Move with the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take a gentle twist. Twist to the right. Low lunge. Find that lift through your inner thighs from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head as you reach up. Set your hands down, step forward, and then step your right foot back. High lunge, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Tone the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand comes down for that gentle twist. Low lunge. Hug the navel into the spine. Reach up. Set the hands down. Step forward. Find that length. And then dive out of your legs to bring your head down for the forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, lower the hands down. Now, we're going to do Warrior One. Warrior One is a lot like high lunge. So go ahead and come into your Warrior One. Step the foot back. Now make sure your feet are on two ends of a railroad track rather than one straight line down the middle of your mat. And then you want to bring your back heel down and point your toes at a 45-degree angle and make sure your hips are square and pointing in the same direction. So think of your belly button as being kind of a signal of having straight and square hips. I suggest using your right hand and pull your right hip back. Pull your right hip back. Pull your right hip back until you feel like your belly button is pointing through the center of your mat. And if it's not, that's okay. Yoga is a process and we're all on our own journey. So just sink down into that Warrior One pose. You can keep your hands on your hips, try to straighten that back leg. You'll feel a deep stretch in the front of your back leg. Now, straighten your front leg and kick up your back foot about 1 footprint forward. Hinge forward at the hips as you dive down. You might want to take some blocks here. This is pyramid pose. It's also easier to get into this pose if your feet are slightly further apart. Pull that right hip back. Draw the belly in. Pull that right hip back and draw the belly in. Okay, now step forward. Let's take that Warrior One on the other side. So come into that lunge first. And then set the heel down as you swing your toes at a 45-degree angle. Pull the left hip back now. Pull the left hip back. And And whenever you are doing Warrior One in a yoga class, you always have the option to modify and do high lunge instead if that's more comfortable for you. So you have options. One more breath here. Exhale. Straighten that front leg. Step one footprint forward with the back foot and then dive forward for a pyramid. And set your hands on blocks. Now here, lead with the chest. And it's okay if you feel a stretch in the back side of your body, but if this is uncomfortable for you, if you have a back injury, try to keep your back straight as you bend forward. And don't allow your spine to round. Okay, then step forward. We'll do Warrior One and Pyramid on the other side, on both sides one more time. Step back, set that heel down, and then reach up if you can. Straighten that back leg a little further as you pull your right hip back. Straighten that front leg. You can come into pyramid straight from here or adjust your stance if you need. Lead with the chest. Draw the belly button away from your thigh. Then come out of that and step forward. High lunge to Warrior One on the other side. And just a reminder here that try to keep your knee behind your toes. So you want to be able to see your toes and see your knee tracking in line with your second and third toe. So if your knee is over your middle toe, your knee is a little bit caved in, and you want to keep it in line with the rest of your leg by having it over your second and third toe. Straighten that front leg, dive forward for pyramid. Step both feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll that spine up to standing. Reach up, stretch your body in opposite directions as you find strong Tadasana legs, and then exhale, lower the arms. So I'll set my blocks to the side, and let's come straight into downward facing dog. So I'm going to set my knees down, plant my hands into the mat, and you know you're in a good distance for downward dog if you go into a plank and then lift your hips up. That's a good distance for most people. Keep a soft bend in your knees and your heels lifted. Push your hips back. Push your hips back and push your head away from the mat. You want to feel some movement in your shoulders, wrapping out and around your rib cage. Then start to straighten the knees a little. Find some stretch in the back side of the body. And then pedal out those legs. My left side body has been really tight lately, so let's go ahead and take a side stretch. Point your toes to the left, bend your right knee, and feel that stretch in your left body. It's very strange. I don't really know why it's so much tighter than my right side. And then you'll do the other side. Bend your left knee and point your toes to the right. Maybe it's from all the push-ups. Maybe we'll take a few push-ups today. Spoiler. Okay, and then stay in down dog for one more breath. Remember that this is a very common pose in yoga, but that doesn't mean you have to take it during a class. You can always come into child's pose or go into the next standing pose of a sequence. Root down through your knuckles and fingertips. Then go ahead, just set your knees down. Shake out your wrists. Okay. And if down dog is uncomfortable, maybe you'll get used to it if you keep doing it some more. But try not to push yourself if it hurts too much. You don't want to have any injuries in yoga. Yoga is supposed to be restorative and challenging, but you don't want to push yourself too hard. Okay, then let's take a plank pose. So just come onto your forearms, straighten your legs behind you, draw that belly button in. You even want a slight rounding, upward rounding your spine, and tuck the tailbone under. And we'll stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Are you breathing? 6, 5. Draw the belly button in. 4, 3. Push the ground away. 2, 1. Set the knees down. Take a break. And then we'll do that again. Option to come onto your hands or stay on your forearms. I like to spread my fingers out like starfish. And then straighten your legs, draw that belly button in, pull your tailbone down and squeeze your glutes and keep a long neck. We'll stay here for 10 seconds. You want to gaze about 2 feet in front of your mat is a good estimate, keeping the neck long rather than looking forward and craning the neck. So stay here for 3, 2, push the ground away, 1, and set the knees down. So I said something about push-ups. We're gonna do that again. So you can stay on your knees. I'm gonna try coming onto my feet and challenge myself. All right, come into push-up position and then come down for 10, 9, 8, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs together, 5, 4, 3, elbows in, 2, 1, set the knees down. Okay, shake out the arms. We're gonna come back to standing at the top of our mat. Sink down low. We're gonna do a squat here. Sink down low, just easy squat. Reach your arms out in front of you and then come out of it. Just gentle, very, very gentle squat. And then sit back up. You want to try to keep your chest lifted and squeeze your glutes. Think of squeezing your tailbone and having a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis. It's not actually going to tilt that way when we're sinking down, but you want to have that feeling of the pelvis rolling back and squeezing the glutes like this. So sink down, squeeze the glutes, keep that chest up, and stand up straight. One more here. Draw the belly button into the spine, and then stand up. All right, now we're gonna incorporate that into chair pose. So you can stand about hip width distance. It's a lot easier when your feet are further apart, and traditionally your feet are touching. So whatever is comfortable for you. So sink down into your chair pose. You can keep your arms out in front of you or maybe down on your hips. Okay? Inhale here, by the way. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, set the hands down, come onto your plank. And then you can set your knees down and do that reverse push-up, bringing your body to the ground. I'm gonna push these out of the way. Now we'll take a cobra here. Lift your chest up just slightly, keeping your neck long. I like to imagine that when you're doing these back bends and lifting your chest, you want to iron out the creases in the back of your neck. So when my neck does this, there's a lot of creases. But if I keep it long, there's almost no creases. So lower that chest down. Think of just keeping the neck completely still and only lifting with the chest, so your gaze still stays down and only slightly forward, maybe about 6 inches in front of your mat. One more time, lift up. We did more cobras than was necessary. That's okay, push yourself back. Come into downward facing dog. Just stay here for 2 breaths. Then walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, rise up to standing. exhale, lower the arms down. All right, let's come into chair again. Inhale, sink down. Actually, you're gonna inhale, raise your arms overhead, keep your legs long. Then exhale, sink into your chair. Now, dive out of your legs, reach forward, and inhale, halfway lift. Then, come back into your plank. Set your knees down and lower yourself to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Come into down dog. Stay here for one breath. Then bring your right foot forward between your legs or between your arms if you can. Try to find that long stance for warrior one. You can either keep your heel lifted, staying in high lunge, or set that back foot down and reach up. Not staying here for too long. We're just gonna go back into downward facing dog. Set those hips up in the air and bring your left foot forward, closer to your left hand, not quite in the center of your mat, and come into high lunge or warrior one. Then set your hands down, downward facing dog. And then walk forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Now we're gonna change it up a bit. Inhale, raise your arms overhead and sink down into chair. Utkatasana. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, set the hands down, and we'll lower our body to the ground, however you feel you can. And then find that tiny cobra with a long neck. Draw the belly button into the spine, shoulder blades pinching together, and set the chest down. Push back into downward facing dog. Set the right foot forward. Warrior one. Set the hands down. Go straight to downward facing dog. And set the left foot forward. Warrior one on the other side. Set the hands down. One more down dog here. Then slowly walk your hands back to the top of your mat. Inhale, find length as you lift up. Exhale, dive forward. And then inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, lower the arms. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, sink your hips down as you reach your arms up. Chair. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And here you can go straight into warrior one or follow me and go into that plank. Lower down, cobra, down dog. Find that breath. Step the right foot forward, warrior one. Hands down, right foot back, left foot forward. And we're just gonna go straight into it. Reach up. Set the hands down, down dog. Let's get a final stretch in our down dog here. Then walk back to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up and rise up to standing. Exhale, lower the arms down. Okay, now we're going to lie down on our backs And just take a stretch and some twists. So I'll take my blocks out of the way so I don't kick them. And then lie all the way down on your back. And I have my strap here, by the way. Really handy to have for different stretches, also for getting into certain poses, but today we're just using it to help facilitate some stretches. So, actually, I'm not going to use it just yet. We're going to do a pigeon. So bring your left ankle onto your right thigh so that your knee is pointing out to the side in a figure 4, and then pull your right knee in, finding that stretch. So this is just pigeon lying down. Inhale deeply. Breathe into the outside of your left leg as you stretch it. Flex your left foot as well. And pull that knee in deeper. And just be gentle. Try not to force anything, as I always like to say. Progress will come in time with consistency if you're trying to reach some sort of goal as you move through the practice. Okay. And then set your right foot down. Walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat, or is it the other way? To the left side of your mat, and then bring that leg down. Left foot is on the right side of your mat, so your legs are kind of crossed over each other. You should feel a slight stretch in the right side of your leg. And then lift your knee, walk your right foot back, and then we'll change feet and do the other side. Right ankle comes onto the left thigh. You can pull that left knee in, hold the back of your hamstrings, and gently tug it in. Flex your right foot. Set your left foot down, walk it over to the right side of your mat, and you're going to bring the leg down. Right foot is on the mat. All right. Bring your feet back onto the mat, and we'll take a few bridges here. So my strap is in my way. Go ahead, lift the tailbone up and press your low back into the mat. So you're just doing some movements with your pelvis, keeping your legs still and moving the spine just a little bit. So you see how my low back is pressing down so that there's almost no arch? You want to exaggerate a little bit and make sure you're pulling your abdominal muscles down with you. So you're not just moving your spine, but you're pushing your spine with your abdominal muscles and toning it. So tailbone comes to neutral, and then tilt it back as the abdominals push your spine down. All right, go ahead and release that. You're going to mimic that same motion as you lift your tailbone up and up slowly, and then lift the hips into the air for a bridge. You can wiggle your shoulders underneath and draw that belly button in even further. So when you contract your abdominals in a spinal extension like this, you're giving your back support so it doesn't overextend your back or cause any pain or cause your back to bear all the weight of your body. You're using your abdominals to help you into this pose and help you hold it. Then slowly roll the spine down. Try to pull your ribs down first. Keep lifting the hips up, but roll it down. Keep the hips lifted. Keep the hips lifted as you keep rolling it down. Then finally set your tailbone down. All right. And then last but not least, take your strap. You can use a belt, a towel, wrap it over the balls of your right foot right here. Not the arches, but the balls. Straighten your front leg, straighten both legs actually. Right foot is toward the ceiling, and point your right foot and flex it. Pull the strap as you flex the foot, pulling your toes back with you, and then push your toes away, lengthening the front of your foot, and pull that foot back. You should feel a stretch in your calf muscles. Okay, last one here. Then grab both straps into your right hand and then open that leg out to the right for some hip openers. Getting that stretch. You can actually go as far as you want. And then bring that leg back up. Hold the straps into your left hand for a cross body stretch. So you'll feel it across the side of your right leg. And I like this stretch a lot because I think it helps loosen the muscles near your IT band and relieve some tightness. And you can just floss your foot back and forth toward the ceiling and then to the side. Try to keep your hip points on the ground, so both hips are heavy, both sides of your hips. Then bring your foot back to the middle, and then change your feet out of the strap, and we'll point and flex our left foot. So point the balls of your foot, and then pull the toes back. Point and flex. So foot exercises like this, believe it or not, help me a lot in strengthening my legs. Even when I was doing weight exercises like squats and deadlifts and lunges, sometimes my legs still felt tired and weak after standing for a long time. And I realized after changing up my workout, incorporating more foot exercises, that my calf muscles and my feet muscles were really weak. And my ankle muscles too. Okay, now both straps go into the left hand, reach your leg out to the side, and you can get a lot from the stretch even if you don't go all the way out to the side. I don't necessarily feel like this stretch is any better for me than if I just stayed halfway down. So this is a good stretch too. Pull that foot closer to you even. Then switch hands, lean your foot to the right side, and you can floss that leg back and forth. Keeping that pelvis nice and heavy on the mat. And then release your foot. Set your strap to the side. And then you're just gonna lay here for Savasana, corpse pose. Again, pull your shoulders underneath you. Find a little bit of support for your spine. Set a blanket or blocks underneath your knees if you need. You can even bend your knees if you think that's more comfortable for you. So just lie here. And just feel the breath as you inhale. And notice the breath and its quality as you exhale. Slowly draw your attention back to your body and feel the earth solid underneath you. Start to move your limbs and fingers. Introduce movement back to the body. Stretch your arms overhead, get a nice stretch. Then turn to your right, keeping your arm overhead to cradle your head. Come into a fetal position, and then slowly come back up into a seated position. Find a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes soft here. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to find gratitude in your day, whatever it may be, big or small. If you've made it to the end, you can thank yourself for giving yourself love and care and attention, both for your body and hopefully your mind. I bow my head to you in gratitude for joining me today and allowing ourselves to practice and focus on our breath and on the little things. Remember to stay in the present as you go about your day. May you be safe, may you be happy, and may you be at peace. Namaste.